At the start of the previous part, it said time attack was unlocked. I don't know how that little footage got in there. That happened when I exited out of the game when I got to Press Garden. I'm not really sure how that happened. But yeah, you can unlock stuff just by playing through the game normally. So that's good. I guess it doesn't really matter then that you have to unlock it. Yeah, this is a pretty charming zone, like good music. Eggnog. This is the example of how the Orbinaut should have been. Like, you obviously get flung into it because you're going through the level so goddamn fast, but it doesn't matter because they don't hurt you. You just get rid of its spears when you jump into it. And that wall to the left of me, that's not a wall. That's part of the background. I couldn't really tell that just by looking at it. It really looked like something that I could interact with. Like, this level is fast and charming, but the problem is it's so colorful. The background is a little bit busy. Occasionally it kind of makes me wish that I could tell what was in the background a little bit more. These things, they could stand to bounce you up higher. Because I don't see the point of them if they're not... I mean, they're obviously necessary, but I wish they could just bounce you up a little bit higher. I really like these things. Like, these little platforms. Oh, but that flickering monochrome picture, I wish it wasn't flickering so much. Like, it kind of distracts me visually. Oh, that's really cool, how Sonic and Tails go into a silhouette when they go behind the curtains. Like, there's lots of cool effects and set pieces in this level. In this game in general, that they didn't really have to do, but they did it. And that's what makes this game better than Sonic 2. This is what makes it a lot more exciting. The level design knows how to be fast all the time. It has some great platforming, especially like in this level. Like sometimes the bumpers can get annoying, but you gotta slowly navigate around them. It's not that big of a deal. Oh, God, that was cheap. It just flew right at me. It's kind of weird that, well, not really, because, like, again, he was always named Eggman in Japan. So, and you had Eggman being mentioned in the classic Sonic games. Like, I think it was in Flying Battery Room or something. So, it's just kind of weird because the Western fans call classic Eggman Robotnik all the time. And yet they're having Eggman be all over the background. It's kind of like I associate Eggman more with the with the like adventure era and beyond. But this is supposed to be a major classic Sonic game, and yet, I love that effect. Like, you're practically outrunning the screen, and it's intentional this time around. Like, what a way to make you feel fast. But that beforehand, like before that fast loop section, that was not fast because they were just standing on breakable floors and they kept breaking over and over again. Like that boring ass intro to Lava Reef Zone Act 1. I don't really see the point. I mean, if you're gonna land on a breakable floor, well, it would be faster to just not have the breakable floor there at all. But to add insult to injury, they have multiple floors. I thought, oh crap, when I first ran into this. Like, oh my god, a Sonic Advance 2 boss fight. This is gonna suck. See those egg robos there? They're in the background. You're not gonna interact with them at all. Not that that is really obvious. What you have to do, as I completely failed to notice in all the clustered panic, was you have to jump into the blue missiles. Not the red missiles. The red missiles won't be ricocheted back at him. The blue missiles will. And I was so busy panicking trying to avoid the landing on the red missiles when it's so, like, the egg robots are so visually distracting because they're red just like the missiles are trying to avoid, and they just serve no purpose whatsoever in the boss fight. They're just there to distract you, and it feels really unintentional. And it just, I mean, another thing is, like, they're providing you with more rings here, right? But eventually, the arena will loop around, and you'll go through a loop, and I thought, oh crap, when I went through that loop, because there wasn't any rings there. Like, at least in Sonic Advance 2, the running boss fight arena never stops giving you rings. It always keeps giving you rings. Which is good because this kind of boss fight, by definition, drags out. But yeah, like, this boss, at the very least, I didn't have the misfortune of dying to it. But see, the rings didn't show up in the loop. It's like, this is such a weird hitbox. It doesn't look like he's in the background. The Eggmobile looks like you should just be able to jump into him. But you can't. He's just there, and you have to... All the clutter on the screen you have to avoid. You have to only focus on the red missiles. Like, maybe if he was a lot smaller. Maybe if the helicopter was a lot smaller, then you wouldn't be as much focused on him, and the screen wouldn't be cluttered up by him so much. And I guess, I'm not sure if it actually is Eggman there in the Eggmobile, or if it's just one of the wacky-looking robots that are supposed to pass for charming villains, but are really just egg robots that for some reason have different designs, and even one of them is a girl, apparently. But yeah, you could tell how much I hated that boss by the way I made Sonic react to it later on. I love the Eggman thing, the Eggman monitor, like, it's so charming. Like, this is a pretty nice, this is a pretty charming pinball level, I like it. It's not like Casino Night Zone with the boring, slow-moving elevators and blocks you have to avoid. It generally has a good pace up. It keeps a good pace up, but it's also more platforming, which is good. Sonic games should have both platforming and high-speed sections like this. The color palette of the cover art, which includes the logo, mainly consists of blues, oranges, and reds. And this is supposed to correspond to Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. It looks nice. And as does this level. Like, I love it's so colorful. It's such a great aesthetic to it. Like, there I was sent up to the corkscrew ceiling so fast that I fell down because I didn't realize I was supposed to hold up in time. I always hate it when the games do that. Oh yeah, I love this too, like the spinning wheel thing. But unfortunately, I couldn't react to it enough in time. And so I jumped off by accident and didn't jump into the spring right. This kind of wastes your time. Like, I wish you could just fall into it right away instead of having to wait. It was kind of fun bouncing on those things pointlessly though. But yeah, the debut trailer music is called Checkpoint, and it was composed and arranged by Nitro Fun and Hyper Potions. So was the pre-order trailer and the opening animation, their titles being Time Trials and Friends. I don't know if I'm gonna include the trailers. I know I don't have them in the raw footage for the first part of this LP. I guess I didn't really think to let them play. I just immediately started playing the game, because I don't really care for, like, cutscenes. I just want to get straight to the gameplay, especially in a classic Sonic game. But I guess I'll show them eventually, maybe at the end. Oh yeah, another pathetically easy boss fight, the way it should be. Here's the boss fight. You jump into it. You jump into it. That's it. And hopefully you can manipulate Tails' AI to jump into it with you. But yeah, it's easy. That was fun. And I didn't even have Supersonic. It's really annoying how, like, just like in Sonic 3, it's at the very top, and so you have to really go out of your way to jump into it to end the level. Like, I don't think that's fun. I mean, sometimes it feels like you have to have Tails to fly up to it. I wonder if that really annoys speedrunners, because they have to jump into it. I love Act 1, I guess. Act 2 is another story entirely. Also, why did I start out with the blue ring from Knuckles Chaotix? I don't remember getting it. Maybe I did? But yeah, this level, this zone in general is probably harder than the original one. I think these things would I think these things would shoot fire in the original game, but they seem to do it a lot more here. At the very least, they have the common courtesy to stop when you land on them. But the thing is that they also, like, they can launch you like springs, just like in the original game, but a lot of them are placed under ceilings, so I have to really wonder what the point is. Like, maybe it'd be a little better if the ones that could launch you like springs were red or something, and they were the only ones that could launch you. This part of the level made me really nervous. Like, well, maybe not this part, because this part's piss easy, but this! Oh god, this. I hate these glitchy things so much. I don't know if they were fixed in this game, but in the original, it feels like they would drop me down 99% of the time, or like 40%. Like, this part of the level, I hate so much in the original game, because I always fall down. But here, I managed to get lucky, or maybe they just programmed it better, and I didn't slide down to the bottom this time. And I got lucky and landed on this thing without getting hit by its fire. Like, this is definitely a shining example of a level that rewards you for playing the original one, while also being original. I love the anti-gravity gimmick that this level has with the electric shield, and now it's gone. And they don't really give you another one. They don't really give you enough of those, so it feels really underutilized. Like, it would be cool to basically have like a whole new alternate route or something where you get to go upside down, but you don't. Oh my god, this is a clusterfuck. Projectiles shooting upwards enemies and fires, spewers. Wasn't really all that fun. But now for some good design here. In the original game, a dash pad would hit you to the right, and there was a wall that you had to go left, and suddenly the wall would vanish, and suddenly you're supposed to know that you have to go to the left past that wall to progress. But they don't have that problem in Mania, because there is no wall, and they naturally lead you in ball form to where you're supposed to go. I believe, well, I assumed that if you went to right here you would get an invincibility power-up like in the original, but I guess I was too lazy to bother. But yeah, like, this level, this is pretty satisfying platforming section. Not nearly as satisfying as the one the original with all of those spear-shaped things, and you were pretty high up. But this one, it's tricky, definitely. You can keep on falling. Like, it's very timing-based, and I was a little worried about being crushed. But it's good, like, it's platforming, and I really like platforming in Sonic. That's another thing, like, it's inherently slow-paced, but as long as there's tons of sections like this, I really don't mind. Yeah, it's fun. Kind of annoying having to get past the spike balls, but they were kind enough to fly out of the way first. And it was then when I realized, oh right, while I'm being annoyingly bounced back by the springs, you can go into the blue spear minigames. I burst out laughing at this. See, I'm playing this game with an Xbox 360 D-pad, which is pretty infamous to say the least, so I completely by accident held right, and that killed me right away. Even though I was thinking to myself, I'm going to the left, but instead I just instantly died. But I will show it off again later, but I don't really care enough to go into every single checkpoint at every opportunity. I'm not even entirely sure what they unlock. Don't they unlock special moves that I can just use codes to get anyways? I don't know. But it is nice. It is a nice compromise that they decided to. I like that they have the spike balls on these things, by the way. It's an interesting bit of challenge, although it's annoying that these things that look like they're in the background can still hit you. It doesn't look like they should be able to. But I love that you don't have to wait nearly as tediously long to get down here. That's good. But yeah, it's a nice compromise that they decided to put both the Blue Spear minigame and a brand new special stage in this game. Like, they got the best special stage ever from the classic Sonic games, but they also got a new special stage with Sonic R controls. I haven't really played it yet. Kinda dreading it. But yeah, I was kinda really worried about this boss fight, because obviously the walls might have a chance of crushing you. I don't know, I never got to that point. I was kind of worried that this would be a really annoying boss, because you don't really seem high enough to be able to jump into it. So I kept trying to manipulate Tails' AI to damage it by jumping and hit it with his tails. It's kind of difficult though. I don't exactly have a second controller. I managed to beat him though. So he was ironically pretty easy. But next time, we'll see pain.